Aristotle, 384 to 322 BC, was an ancient Greek philosopher whose moral writings greatly influenced a range of moral theories in the 20th century, collectively known as virtue ethics. In this video, we'll look at the basics of Aristotle's moral theory. Firstly, we need to know what a virtue is. A virtue is a character trait or disposition which is to be valued, such as courage, generosity, honesty, etc. Virtue, needless to say, is central to virtue ethics. This focus on virtue is distinctive of virtue ethics. Typically, moral theories like, say, utilitarianism are act-centered. That is, in determining what is right or wrong, the focus is on the action. Specifically for utilitarianism, it is the consequences of the action that is morally significant. However, virtue ethics is agent-centered. It is not focused on actions, but it is focused on what sort of person the agent is and what sort of person we should be. More precisely, moral evaluation comes down to whether the agent acts virtuously or not. To act virtuously, you must possess virtue. There's a little bit more to it than that, so let's have a look at how Aristotle constructed his theory. The starting point for Aristotle's moral theory is defining the good. The good for humans is that which all our actions aim. So think about any activity that you do. There is a reason that you do it, a good for why you do that thing, and Aristotle says that whatever activity is, it can all be traced to some ultimate good, which we call the highest good. So let's take an example. If you are training at some sport and I say, well, why do you train at that sport? You might say, well, you want to improve your skill, you want to be better at that sport. But why do you want to be better? Well, I want to keep up with the competition so I can still be competitive. But why do you want to do that? Well, ultimately, I just enjoy doing the sport. It's fun, it's what I want to spend my spare time doing. And you can trace it all the way back to the highest good, and all activities will trace back to the highest good. For Aristotle, this highest good is eudaimonia. And this is often translated to happiness, but it's more encompassing than that. It represents more a state of flourishing. But what did eudaimonia consist in? Well, Aristotle argues for a teleological view of the world. He says that all living things have distinctive features that allow them to fulfill their purpose or proper function, which he calls their telos. So, for example, spiders have distinctive features which allows them to fulfill their purpose of creating webs. What is good for a living thing is being able to perform its function well. So we could say what is good for a spider is being able to successfully spin lots of great webs to allow it to catch juicy treats. If it repeatedly failed to do this, that would not be good for the spider. Now, humans don't make webs, but what is distinctive of human beings is our capacity to reason. Therefore, the purpose of a human being is to exercise reason. Now, as I said, the good of a thing is not just to perform your function, but to perform it well. For humans to perform their function well, they must exercise reason in accordance with, or that is guided by, virtue. And so you see, this is how Aristotle moves from his teleological theory to the beginnings of a moral theory. The highest good, or eudaimonia, for human beings is a life of rational activity in accordance with virtue. There are two aspects of the human soul, the rational part and the non-rational part. The non-rational part houses the emotions and the appetites, but also the moral virtues, such as honesty, generosity, courage, etc. The rational soul has intellectual virtues, and these are under the control of reason, and they involve such things as judgment and understanding, or intellectual activities such as philosophy and physics, and as such they can be taught. In contrast, moral virtues, not being under the control of reason, cannot be taught, but they are acquired through childhood, through imitating role models, and reinforced through habit. It is through imitating virtuous people that we become virtuous, not by learning rules. So although they cannot be taught, they can nonetheless be guided by practical wisdom, or phronesis, one of the intellectual virtues. To understand where phronesis comes into this, it's perhaps better if we start by exemplifying the doctrine of the mean. The mean, in the doctrine of the mean, is the virtue that sits between two vices, the vice of excess and the vice of deficiency. To act virtuously, in accordance with reason, we must tread the path of virtue between these two vices. The importance of phronesis is that we need such wisdom of practical matters in order to act virtuously. Practical wisdom, being part of the rational soul, guides us towards the mean, allowing us to act virtuously in every situation. Put simply, phronesis is the skill of choosing what is right and good. The virtuous person, therefore, is one who has acquired a moral virtue through habit by using their practical wisdom not only to know how and when to act virtuously, but also to keep on the path between the extremes of excess and deficiency. Thank you for watching.